All right. Hello and welcome, everyone. Delighted to have you here. My name is Barbara Wainwright. I am the president and founder of Wainwright Global Inc., Institute of Professional Coaching. I've trained over 5,000 coaches. Today, I have some exciting news. I want to introduce you to Jill Lublin, who is a master of PR, and also Ann DeVere, who is a master of WebTV. So let's get started. What I'd like to share with you about Jill is that she is an international speaker on the topic of influential marketing, publicity, and networking. And I just want to add that I met Jill at CEO Space, and she is an amazing speaker, an amazing author. Her books are #1 bestseller books, and the content is incredible. And Jill just brings so much to the table when it comes to PR and getting your message out there and crafting your message and all the rest of it. So it's just an honor and a privilege to have her here today. And Ann DeVere is a web TV expert. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, you're going to learn a lot about that today because we're going to talk about how to leverage the power of video and web TV to help take your business to the forefront. So I'm going to go ahead and I did just a short introduction with Jill, but I want her to let you know how you can reach her, and also Ann to let you know how you can reach her, and then we'll get on with our show. So Jill, would you like to go ahead?
Oh, I love that, and thank you. Great to see you both again. Check out publicitycrashcourse.com/free gift, and all kinds of great ways for you to get your word out very, very quickly. Also, if you would like to just talk direct, you can absolutely call my office, and that number is 415-883-5455. So happy to talk with you too.
All right, that's great. Thanks, Jill. And Ann.
Well, hello everyone. I am Ann DeVere, and WebTV is what we do. And you can actually reach me at turnyourshowintocash.com. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And the rest of it, I think, is going to be pretty self-explanatory. So I'm thrilled to be here, and thank you, Barbara, for putting it all together.
Oh, you're so welcome. So Jill, can you share a little bit more about how PR is, that is what you do. You're all PR, right? So if you could just share with us more about PR and your guerrilla marketing book, things like that, would be great.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wrote the book Guerrilla Publicity. Some of you may have heard of J. Conrad Levinson, an amazing man who really founded the whole guerrilla concept. But guerrilla publicity is really about driving your business with publicity. And what I've seen in working the area of publicity for, gosh, over 20 years, is that it really literally drives prospects to you. It creates name recognition, trust in the marketplace, visibility, credibility, the kinds of things that your business needs. And it's a very powerful medium because, hey, here's the great thing. When you're featured on Google Hangouts, WebTV, you immediately get trust. People know you and like you. So when trust goes up, so does your clients. And everybody needs more business, more clients to make more money. And I love the concepts of what we're doing today because this is media, and media drives your business.
Beautifully said. I love that. So right now we're in the golden age, or I'll say the infancy stage, I think, of web TV. How do you see that being used in the future for people marketing, and how are you incorporating that into your consulting business?
Well, I think Ann's doing such a great job, immediately showing people how to get publicized quickly. And I think it's really key to use every medium you can. So web TV, Google Hangouts, all kinds of quick videos to have people feel you more. In fact, of course, video, as I'm sure we're going to cover today, gets you much more coverage than anything else you could do. So what I see is that this is the future, and it's now. And those who are on it now are moving more quickly and with greater visibility than those who are waiting. So do not be afraid. Hey, even me, Ms. kind of low techie, has even figured out how to do this, and it's a lot of fun because you get to see people and really feel them, and I think it makes a big difference.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. I was just so delighted to see your face when we logged into this session right now. I love you, and I'm just so delighted to be able to see you, and it's like I could reach out and hug you almost, you know? So very, very cool being on video. I love it. So Anne, would you share a little bit about your process and what you see as a vision? Because you're a visionary, truly. So what do you see as what is your vision? Let me say that. What is your vision for web TV coming up?
My vision for web TV, well, basically web TV is taking over everything. I mean, think about it. We have all kinds of network television. You look at NBC, CBS, ABC, all of the big ones, Fox. They all have web TV. They all do because, you know, network television only goes so far. It's pretty local. You know, maybe they have, you know, many different, let's say Fox TVs, let's say it's in every city, everywhere, so are the other ones. But that's basically ours. It's national. It's U.S. national. It doesn't go global. Well, web TV does. So that's where all the television networks are using web TV to not only keep in touch with their audience and keep them loyal, but they also want to go global now. And that's basically what it is. So, as a matter of fact, I have some pretty cool slides that I've put together that I'm going to share with you, and some very interesting things. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my scenes over here. I'm going to go into, let's see, we have, the reality is basically everything is changing. You know, I mean, you've probably already heard about it. Web TV is taking over everything. Google Hangouts and web TV are making some huge waves. They really are. They're changing every aspect of marketing as we know it, like Jill was saying. It's everywhere. And I know that as we're talking with publicists, they all want clients who already have global visibility. Because, you know, it makes the publicist's job a lot easier. So much easier when the client already has visibility to go and say, hey, I have somebody you can put on your show, and look at the following they have. So basically, it's changing every aspect of marketing as we know it. And this is a time to make a decision. Are you going to be riding the wave, or are you going to get swept under? That's the big question, because right now you can do anything you want with it. And just to make sure that you have the clarity, okay? While it sounds big, it's really very simple to understand. And I really want you to get this. Web TV is a very powerful broadcasting platform. Google Hangout is a very powerful broadcasting platform, just like any other network. Okay, so think about it. You have access to global visibility like any other. You know, I keep harping on this because I want you to understand, you know, because Google Hangout is free, it doesn't mean that it's not powerful. It's very powerful, and a lot of people are catching on. There are all kinds of really cool cooking shows out there, and there are some bands literally broadcasting from their garages, going global and building a following. So they can go out there and get those big gigs and those concerts. And guess what? The President of the United States and the First Lady are using Google Hangouts. So think about it. Everybody is catching on, but it's in infancy. You know, a lot of people they haven't really figured out all the different ways to use it. And that's what we figured out, what technology to use, what to do, so you can actually use it any way you want. Now, it's up to you. You can get on, and I suggest you do get on. By all means, get out there. You can get on, make connections with people, go global. You can be solo, as we call it, talking head. It's just you there. Or you can actually produce a show with the same Google Hangouts, and that's us in season 1. We're actually, unfortunately, Jill wasn't able to join us in season 1 because she had a conflict in her schedule. So we're going to see if we can get her to join us in season 2 of Turn Your Show into Cash. So Jill, we have to coordinate. What do you think?
I would love to be your guest always. And, you know, I agree with everything you say and want to underline it 3 times, because the truth is, you know, it's like people are looking at all new mediums to be expressed, and web TV is a wonderful way to get your expression and your message heard simply and easily and without a lot of cost. That's what's so wonderful.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very cost effective. And as a matter of fact, all of you stick around, because in just a little while, and by the way, please post below, ask questions, because we're going to be looking at some of the questions in the comments. So comment, and you're going to get a super special bonus that's going to make it really easy for you to to get on in Google Hangout, it's actually a super special bonus that's $97. But just for commenting, you're going to get it. So ask us your questions. Get involved. I want you to experience what really interactive television is. So this is our way of getting you excited about doing it. Okay, so post some comments. Those who do are going to get that super special bonus. Okay, so there we go. We're not about bribing you to get involved, experience web TV. So.
Well, and can I also add that by making a comment, it's great publicity. So always make sure to ask questions, make comments, get yourself known. That's a wonderful form for creating more name recognition.
There you go. Now you have a tip from a publicist that's widely known for her brilliance. So take the tip and go with it. So comment. Okay. So let's see now. What else do we have? We have some really cool information here. Oh, here's the other thing that's cool about this. Now you can actually broadcast live. Okay. If you like getting on and interacting with people like we're doing right now, by all means get there. But I know that some of you are reluctant. So, but that's okay. You can get out there and put together a pre-recorded training, pre-recorded program, or whatever you want to put together. You can do that, and that will give you the freedom to go out there and do the things you enjoy, or spend more time with your family. Have you missed any ball games with your kids? Maybe you have. Yeah, here's your chance. What if you want to go globetrotting? Seriously, you can have your show from anywhere in the world, or it can play for you while you are cruising the world. I mean, this is just such a powerful tool that, it's amazing. You can literally go visit your fans across the globe. I love that idea. What do you think, you guys? Do we go cruising the world with the fans?
I'm in. Cruising the world with Anne. I'm in.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, okay. Well, sounds like we have a plan in motion here. I don't know. We have to look into it. Let's see. And here's the other thing too. Now, statistics. I want you guys to know what's right at your fingertips, right? So today, 89 million people will be watching 1.2 billion videos. Seriously. And that's on YouTube. And the good thing about getting on Google Hangout, you're automatically on YouTube, right? So that's between the two. You're automatically connected. Well, there's Facebook, and there's mobile videos, and there's video blogs, and all kinds of networks that you can be on. So jump in there. The water's fine. It's like there's so much opportunity. Oh, I got to share with you. Right now, this is a super secret, okay? So tell everybody. So now, right now, there are so many shows out there. There are all these broadcasting networks. They all want TV shows. I want some shows because we're launching GVN TV, the Global Visibility Network. And interestingly enough, I ran into a huge challenge where there wasn't enough content. So we decided to put together this whole training for our show hosts. And here's what happened. I had somebody contact me telling me, I have over 200 million monthly viewers. Can I put some of your Access to Expert shows on? I said, what? Yes, absolutely. So bottom line, if you get involved, get out there, learn how to produce a TV show. And you know what? I'm going to share with you some of the things you can do, and then using some of the things you'll be learning from Jill, get the word out there and, be seen. I mean, 200 million monthly viewers, and some of them, by the way, get this. You know how until now CNN has been basically had the monopoly at the airports? Everything was CNN. Well, not anymore. Other networks are getting in there, like Clear Vision, and we have access to 250 airports, and we're looking for great content. I hope you guys are getting excited about this. So between learning how to put together your web TV show and then how to get out there, and then learning how to get yourself out there, in a big way, grab the attention of the media, learning what Jill is teaching, you have nothing standing in the way. Absolutely nothing. So, I mean, I'm psyched. I don't know. What do you think, Jill?
Well, I love that, and the whole thing about airports. I also want to mention, because I've been interviewed on some shows that already are being featured on Roku, for instance, the home system watching video. So, you can get shows on networks immediately on things like Roku very, very quickly. You don't have to be this major, television personality. It's by being creative and having your show and becoming the personality that is what gets you known. And my friends, I actually have a number of colleagues who have shows all over the Roku network and different networks within that. And I'm having fun watching them succeed with that. Business shows, creative shows. You can feature anything you're doing on television, and frankly, now's the moment. I'm with you, Ann. I'm so excited about it, and you're starting my head popping too about all the different things that I could be doing. I think all of us. And it's just such fun because people feel you much more when you're doing a show, when you're more accessible. I think it makes a big difference.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it does. It does. And I'm really thrilled that I'm getting you excited, Jill, because, you got to jump in. We need your help to get all these amazing shows out there because we have some great people who really need visibility because, you know what? They're awesome. The rest of the world doesn't know about them yet. Okay? So with a little bit of learning from me and you, and of course with some support from Barbara, now not only they'll be able to put together their shows, but they'll be able to get out there in a big way, using publicity, and of course they'll be able to monetize it, taking all that great content, all that great knowledge, and turning it into a coaching consulting business. I'm telling you, just so much is available right now. I'm psyched. I am really psyched. And I want you to understand something. Now, recently, we were invited, just a couple of weeks ago, to present at the Digital Hollywood Conference. Now, so you know the importance of Digital Hollywood Conference. This is where TV and film producers go twice a year, spring and fall, and to learn the latest, what's going on in digital media. Okay? Now, Google Hangout has gotten, so important that they had to include Google Hangout, and we were the ones who were invited to present at the Digital Hollywood Conference. There were over 300 speakers, over 300 presenters, and it was just an amazing, amazing place to be. I mean, it was like who's who of television and film, but to be included in that group, it was quite an honor, by the way, but also the importance of Google Hangout and the power it carries, and it's all at your fingertips. It really is. And this is the time to really jump in there. And by the way, just so you know, those of you who don't know me, we have been working with the expert next door for over about 25 years myself. But for the past 8 years, we've been actually showing them how to get their message succinct so they can go out there and be interviewed on television as the guest experts when something breaks in the media. So they need to learn how to speak, who they are, what they do, but add a lot of value at the same time so they would be constantly asked to go back. Because the thing about media, and Jill, I know this is where I need your help with, once you get a client who is great on camera and they have great information to deliver, what happens? What can you do with them?
Well, and also, Ann, I want to add one more thing before I get to that question, and that is that you just mentioned that it creates speaking engagement opportunities when people can see you. So great media leads to great prospects, leads to great speaking engagements. But I think really, when I look at a client and their need for media, the first thing I'm always looking at is what's the story and who can we reach with that story in terms of messaging. So I'm really big on messaging. I consider myself a messenger of messengers. And the point is, what's your message? Once we discover that, the good news is then we can look at the right forums in WebTV, in Google Hangouts, in the right social media categories, like where can we reach the people that you need to touch? So I think that's really a key, is getting clear on your message and then getting clear on which audience and reaching them with very specific strategies. That really works.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, so Jill, I really want people to understand the importance of this. Now, isn't it true that once somebody gets on TV on a particular program, all of a sudden they're asked to be on all these other TV shows because they see them? Like they say somebody gets on, let's say, Good Morning America, all of a sudden, because the other TV stations are keeping an eye out for what's going on, it's like, oh, that's a good one, let's get her or let's get him on our show. Isn't that sort of what happens? All of a sudden you just, you get all these amazing invitations?
Well, it's funny you should say that because I always say the media is a bit incestuous. Once you're on one show, exactly like you say, Ann, you become then on, well, a great guest for other shows. And particularly because they know you're articulate, that you know your sound bites, that you know your message. Media loves that, and they want somebody they can count on for having a great message. So it's important for you to have a great message. So, let me share one of my clients, for instance, a consulting client. I coached her through some sound bites and what to say. She got on Good Day LA. It's a major morning show and on a major affiliate, and she was so good in her whopping, just so you guys all know that most media segments are 4 to 6 minutes long. Well, she was so good on her media segment that the producers actually asked her back, and they asked her to come back within 2 weeks and do another 8-minute segment. So for her to score a show easily, simply, and then to get rebooked on a show, my gosh, you know how much work that can take? That can be a 3 to 6 month endeavor, but because she was on, they got invited back. And yes, once you're on one, you start rolling that film in your website, in your social media, on Google Plus, on WebTV platforms, and then it leads to more quickly, simply, and easily. So much easier than trying to kind of climb up the hill all by yourself.
Yeah.
I just want to add, can you imagine the difference between sending somebody an email or a photo and sending them a quick video clip? It's
and a quick video clip saying you've been seen on, whether it's web TV show, ABC, NBC, whatever it is, or your, market wherever you are in the world. That is powerful. And people, media has such incredible power, and that it tells your story and you don't have to even speak a word.
Yeah. We got that. As a matter of fact, interestingly enough, that's how I got involved actually doing all this, because it was about 8 years ago when I noticed that some of my clients had better products and services than some of the better known people out there, better known experts. So, the difference was they had the media and my clients didn't. And that's when, I looked at my husband, who's been in television for over 30 years, said, listen, why don't we, kind of get together and create a platform where we can interview my clients, and then they'll have something to show as to how they interview on TV, because it was one of those catch-22 things going on. If you're not on TV, you can't get on TV, but because you don't have a video clip to show that you've been on TV. But how do you get a video clip without being on TV? It was like, okay, we can fix this. So we started working with my clients, teaching them how to interview. And we would literally take over Channel 6 in San Diego on a weekend and interview some of my clients. I don't know if you can see, but some of the people in the clip there, they're very well-known speakers. So that's how this whole thing got started, because we needed a clip for my clients to get out there. So it's amazing. It's just, I just love video. I love TV. And by the way, I know all of you have been hearing about web TV and what happens, the importance of, video on, as far as where you rank. Well, that's actually Mark Harris. Those of you who don't know him, he's like a thought leader behind a thought leader. And about 4 years ago, we took him into the studio and we created a video, and he put it on YouTube. Right away, he went up to #1 and #2 right away in his category. And the whole thing is that he stayed up there for 4 years now. So the formula that we're using as far as, how to create your videos, how to put on your show, how to market your show, it works. It's been working beautifully on WebTV. You can literally dominate YouTube, and you know what that means. But that's not the only place. Kyriakis actually went to our 2-day training, and the same thing. It's really not that difficult. That's what I want you to know. In 2 days, and he was a great, business consultant. But utilizing some of what he learned, he started going everywhere. He was being asked to speak on, on every show. He was a commentator. He was commenting on the president's, issues and things like that, because, he's a business consultant, and running a country could relate to business, doesn't it? So, anyways, that's pretty much what happened. And what I'm telling you is that all of this is doable for the expert next door. You know, you don't have to have a lot of money to get yourself out there. You can get started with very little money. So, you know, that's really important just to get started. No.
Well, and that's the point, is taking your expertise and letting people know how they can interact with you, giving them real-world tips fast. And then what's so fabulous is this spreading. It becomes like I call it like an octopus theory of marketing, right? You spread your tentacles in many places, and that includes video. That includes, are you being an octopus over there? Octopus marketing. Isn't that great? I think that's a whole new concept. But,
love it.
Yeah, I like it too. I don't know, there's something there.
I think there is, and the point is that the power of Google and YouTube to reach people. Listen, we see, I mean, if a dog and a cat can get famous, you know what I'm saying? I mean, who is that cat with the funny face who got really famous really quick? And that was all through YouTube. Grumpy Cat. I think it's Grumpy Cat. That's it. But, you know, that's what I'm like. If Grumpy Cat could do it, you can do it. You know what I'm saying?
No, you are so right. There's a lot, and the thing about this whole thing too is that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity right here where we are, this time and place. This is the gold rush for web TV. It seriously is. Okay, you just got to get out there and claim your title as the go-to show host, whatever that niche is. I mean, think about it. Who is the go-to show host on traditional TV? You know, who is the best-known show host, talk show host?
Gotta be Oprah.
Yes, I'm going to say, I'm going with Oprah.
Oh, no, there's also Dr. Oz, and depends on what part of the world you're in. There are great shows, but Oprah everybody knows. Well, who is the go-to talk show host on web TV? Nobody.
Good question.
Right?
Yeah.
Not yet. Working on that.
So it's wide open for the taking. You pick any niche. There isn't, because most people haven't figured out how to utilize YouTube and, you know, as a talk show. You know, they haven't. You know, there are some people doing some trainings, putting it up there, like I said, cooking shows and things like that, or the bands. But you can actually have a talk show. We've proved it. We've done it. I mean, so it's just amazing what you can do. So jump in there, you know. And here's like, Jill, I want you also to chime in with this. You know, the fears, what are the things that are keeping people from jumping and getting really excited and happy about being on TV? I have found that there are 3 things that are standing in the way. The first one is fear. It's a fear of getting on camera. It's a fear of being seen. It's like the fear of public speaking. You know, they say it's like the number one, you know, fear, you know, that's besides death, which I don't really get it, but okay, if people die, then speak on a public platform, which I love to do. So, you know, fear is the first one. Cost. Everybody thinks it's going to be too expensive because sometimes they're quoted the tens of thousands of dollars for a one little video clip. You know, cost is always an issue people ask about. And of course, the last one is a lack of knowledge as to how to get themselves out there. Those are the things that I have found that are standing in the way of people really getting out there and utilizing video. What have you found, Jill?
Well, and I want to share on a cost perspective, because I had a 1 minute, see that 1 minute TV show inside of a small business show. And I paid for that time, like advertising. Then I had to, of course, get my makeup done and have all the costume changes, so to speak, wardrobe. It's called wardrobe. You know, and it took hours and hours between getting to the studio and then shooting. That was so complicated. Now I can turn on my iPad, go to Google Hangouts, see you lovely women, and, you know, we're on a show. So ease. I think, you know, I'd add in the hard part is the difficulty sometimes, the hours it takes, the level of knowledge you used to have in terms of using a TV studio and making sure that things were appropriate, you know, wearing the right things, the right makeup, all that good stuff. And now I find, here's the good news, people want you, more natural, more authentic, more who you are in the moment. Makeup, no makeup, well, okay, maybe it's better with makeup, but nonetheless, And I still think you should treat it professionally and treat it well and, you know, all that good stuff. But I think the personal, more authentic part of being able to do a web TV show just makes everything so much more accessible and less having to figure it all out and know everything about all the technical details. I used to have a script that I would prepare for it was a 1-minute networking magic show based on my book, Networking Magic, and we had a script, actually a teleprompter and something I read. Then you have to figure out how to read teleprompters. I mean, there was a whole art to it, right? Now, the good news is it was great for me to learn a lot and to enhance my skill, but the reality is you don't have to do that anymore, and I just think that is exciting. So, you know, more things that hamper people, time, learning curves, focus on professionalism that maybe is even not necessary anymore. I mean, you got to be professional, but you can be more real. Let me just say it that way. So those are some of the things I've been seeing.
Yeah, no, great, great. So we're definitely in sync in that because that's exactly what's happening. So we went from one extreme, like you were describing, getting ready and the whole getting the makeup artist and all that, really being very formal with it, to going way relaxed where people are just, showing up on camera without any makeup or they're sitting there with their bathroom door open or whatever it is.
I won't do that to you.
Now the pendulum is like it swings from one extreme to the other. Right now it's in the middle where, because people are used to seeing more traditional TV on web TV, now they're expecting to see better quality. It's all about what we're used to,
Right.
It's making a little bit of extra effort. And like what I have set up right now, this is basically, it's a studio that I'm managing myself. I'm using this whole technology that, myself, things like this a few years ago. Oh my goodness, it used to take tens of thousands of dollars and used to take all these different people to operate all these different things. Like you mentioned the teleprompter. Yeah, we used to use actually a teleprompter when we took our clients into the studio a few years ago too. It was necessary, but technology has come so far that it's not anymore, and it's put it dead smack in the middle of our hands. And guess what? The corporations, I always say big wheels, turn slowly. The corporations, big corporations, while they're trying to figure out, well, what should our show be? Who should our spokesperson be? Who should be this? The small business owner is in there getting global visibility. And I love it because social media and web TV have leveled the playing field for all of us. And it's a very exciting time for me. I'm psyched. I really am. So let's see. What do you say we go into a little bit of content as to how they can get themselves out there, Jill? What do you think?
I would love that.
Okay, so here's what I found. It's like, what does it take to produce a web TV show and, more importantly, turn it into cash? Okay, so here's what needs to happen. I call it the trifactor system. You have to get ready, which is some of what we were talking about, and you have to prepare yourself. You have to get on a set. It's actually producing the video. Okay, you can get ready all you want, but if you don't shoot that video, it's not going to do you any good. And of course, get paid, the monetization. So what I want all of you to understand that, that having your web TV show is really a business. It's leveraging your business. So I want you to see what happens if you only use maybe 2 or 1 of, the 3. What happens to it? So if you just get ready, you're taking a lot of time getting ready and, looking and sounding great and you know exactly how to speak, you're working on your sound bites, and you go over there and you produce your videos, but then you don't do anything with it. You don't have a monetization plan. You're going to be wasting a lot of time and money. And I know a lot of people who have done just that. And Jill, I expect you can tell a few stories about that yourself, right?
Yeah, well, you can do all the business you want, but the truth is you've got to create more revenues from it. So coaching programs, consulting, workshops, all of that is important so that you're really getting your name out there and that you consistently have multiple ways to serve people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You got to have a plan as to what you're going to do with all those videos, whether it's live or pre-recorded, okay? So now, what if you get ready and you get paid? And a lot of you are doing that right now and very successfully because you're good at what you do. You know your stuff, you know how to present, you're out there, and you're getting clients doing it, but you haven't really embraced the get on a set part. You have not embraced video. Well, while it's working right now, pretty soon you're going to be outdated because video is it. It's the easier, softer, best way of getting out there in a big way. But, you know, you have to do it. It's not going to happen by itself. Well, what if you get on a set and you get paid? That means you produce videos and you're actually making money with videos. A lot of people are doing that right now, too, just because of where we are with technology and video still being in, like, you know, the beginning stages for web TV. A lot of people are doing that and they are making money. But pretty soon, it's not going to work. You're going to be damaging credibility. As I said, the viewers are getting more sophisticated. The pendulum is going from one extreme to having to, you know, get ready in a big way, look very professional, to looking very unprofessional, if you will, being very relaxed. But now you have to make the effort of preparing in advance. So anyways, this is why you need all three of them to really make it work. To look professional, so you are getting, you know, in your whole mechanism in place. And we're going to tell you more about that in the get ready portion of it. The get ready, there's a lot that goes into it, and so this is where we want to claim your title. Who do you want to be like? We were talking about, you know, who is the go-to show host in your niche? So Jill, we're going to have to find the titles for ourselves here, right? We're going to claim the titles, and I know that Barbara already is working on hers, so we need to get the titles going here.
That's right. The name of my show is From Passion to Purpose to Profits. So, yes.
Yeah.
But notice the alliteration, the fun, the soundbite, and it's memorable. So as you're, you know, defining your show, making sure that you have those in the position and listening to how these women are doing it, keeping it simple, fun, and easy to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's really important. That's a great point. You know, like for example, the whole program that we're doing, basically it's a web TV show on how to have your own web TV show. So we called it Turn Your Show into Cash because the name says it all. When people see it, it's like, turn your show into cash? Oh, I can have a show and turn it into cash. So the ease of it, that's a great point, Jill. So thanks for bringing that up. But it's a very important part of it. Who do you want to be known as? What title do you want to claim? So that's step one. Okay, that's step 1 of 12. Step 2 is you have to step into your celebrity self. You know, like it or not, you're being shoved into show business. It's that simple. So how do you get there? You have to have this mental shift. You have, you know, there is a way that you can get there, and well, we can't really go into a lot of it just because of time constraints here. But I do want to share some stuff that you can actually use right now that will make it very easy. When you get off, you're going to be able to say, oh, I can plan my show. How's that? What do you think? So, Jill, are we going to be planning a web TV show?
I'm excited about it, really, and it's something I've been doing. You know, I did a TV show at my local cable access. Here's the good news. This is faster, easier, and, you know, it delivers benefits right away. I love that.
Yeah. And I know Barbara's already, she told you the name of her show, so, and she's all ready to go. Look at the smile.
I know. I'm thrilled with all of this, you know, and I would love to see Jill have her own show out there. Obviously, you're saying you already do on cable, but web TV has such a bigger reach.
Yes, definitely. I like the globalness. You know, I spoke in Australia this past December, and I was in New Zealand last year, and I'm going to be in South Africa at the end of this year. I mean, the truth is the world is global, and we all need to talk to each other, and frankly, it's a small world after all. I mean, what I see going around the world speaking is that everybody really wants the same thing. We want to get our message heard, we want to get out there, and we want more visibility, and that's a lot of the reason I get brought to all these countries is to teach people how to do it. What's fabulous about web TV is it puts it in your hands, literally, right now. I love that.
It's excellent.
So we're going to coordinate with Jill, so she's the guest expert on our, you know, web TV portion of it, the web PR portion of it. So
thank you.
Okay, so now this is the one. This step, third step, is the one where everybody. Actually, you're not going to learn this anywhere else because nobody's really teaching this aspect of it for web TV. So we have taken how to produce your TV show on traditional TV and scale it down for the, the business owner, for the, solopreneur, for the speaker, author, coach, consultant, because you can take anything that you do. You can take your coaching sessions, consulting sessions, you can take your teleseminars, webinars, seminars, anything that you do and turn it into a web TV show. Okay, so this is the important part. And there are a few parts to the third step. Number one, you need to identify your authentic style. It's just, it takes a little bit of thinking about that. It's all about who you are, your authentic self. There are ways to identify it, but we're not going to do that right now, but that's a big part of it, so people know what to come to you for, and, for you to be able to stay authentic throughout, so people can keep coming back to the person they love and trust, like Jill was saying. So formatting your show, I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. And the other thing you need to do is identify your most profitable product. That one is very important because as you have your show online, you want to be able to feature some of the things you're doing so people can get more of you. And don't underestimate the power of it. People want to know. People want to know about you and what you do. I mean, I think Dr. Oz, the entire 1 hour, he's telling us all the different places we can go to buy all the products he's featuring because we want to know. We want to know from people we trust. It's very important. So you want to prepare ahead of time. And the other thing is like your most profitable audience, that's your ideal client. So we're not really going to go into that either because that's a whole day training in itself. But you also need to know who are your ideal guest experts. So I'm going to share with you a couple of things that maybe you don't have prior knowledge of to save time and really make it the most relevant so you're walking away with this with a lot of great knowledge. So one thing that you need to know in advance, you need to make a decision. Are you going to be a solo host, a co-host, or a panel? Well, I recommend, if you're just getting started, to have a co-host. Because solo host is a huge responsibility. You're the boss, but there's also responsibility, and there are all kinds of things that you need to, deal with yourself, including the expense. Panel discussion, that's really good. There's a lot more people, but then you have to deal with everybody's schedules and time constraints and different personalities. So unless you know how to really manage a, TV show, that could be a little bit too much to manage. So if you're getting started, I suggest getting a co-host, even if you get a weekly co-host, until you find the person that you are just dynamic with. You're just kind of tossing, little things back and forth in your point of view, just like we're doing right now.
That's right. Well, that's what makes The View so popular, right? I mean, that's what makes those shows so popular.
Yes, it absolutely does. And so like I said, The View is a lot of fun to watch, but there's so many different schedules to manage. So again, it's something you grow into it. But just get somebody you enjoy being with and sharing knowledge with, and a personality that they're also in sync. Now, what the other thing a lot of people want to know is, okay, how do I plan my show? What do I do? How do I format it? I'm just going to give you an example of what a 30-minute show could be. You always start off with one minute intro, what the show is going to be about, what you're going to be sharing. Okay, so start with that. And then you can conduct some interviews, whether it's one person, two people, whatever. Take like 9 minutes and conduct interviews and share some knowledge. Then you go into a 30-second video clip. This is really important because people don't like to watch commercials, but they love video tips. Again, think Dr. Oz. We love getting that information. But this also serves as a buffer, and also you can have 30-second video tips from your sponsors. Okay, so there's all kinds of ways of using this 30-second spot. Then do some kind of demonstration. Okay, if you're in health and wellness, well, how about demonstrating some kind of an exercise maybe, or some kind of product demonstration. There's something you can do that people can experience. That can take about 9 minutes slot. And then you go into another 30-second video clip. And how about top 10 questions? People ask all kinds of questions. Take a look. And all of you, I hope you're already posting, because we're going to be looking. Remember, those who are posting and commenting are going to get a very special $97 gift that's worth actually a lot more than that. So do you see this? What if, you get, audience engagement? So if you just follow this, and finish it up with another 1 minute wrap up of what you shared about that day, there goes your 30-minute show. You can do this, right? It's doable. I just showed you the formula. And now the very important thing, people are like, well, how can I get guests for my show? What do I do? Who should I bring in? Your ideal guest experts. I'm going to give you an example with an industry. So it will make it very easy to figure out who should be on your show. A huge difference. Now, I picked the wedding industry. Why? Because everybody, either they've gotten married, they know somebody who's getting married, they've helped with a wedding, whatever. So let's take a look at the wedding industry. Who supports the bride and the groom for that one very special day? Okay? Because we have the wedding planner, right? How about a videographer? You got to have a photographer for those memories that you're going to capture forever. And how about a jeweler? It all starts with the ring, doesn't it? What about invitation vendors? Okay, people need to know where to go, right? Limousine services, you got to arrive in style, okay? Well, how about reception halls? Where are all those great people going to go? And the baker, you got to have the beautiful wedding cake. And the caterer, delicious meals, you got to have that. Okay, the florist. Who could do without flowers? Now, bridal shop, you got to have that gorgeous wedding dress, okay? The once-in-a-lifetime wedding dress, okay? And, of course, the travel agency, because you got to go off on the honeymoon, okay? See, all these people are supporting this one couple in that one day. So, and I noticed I mentioned the industries. So there are a lot of wedding planners. There are a lot of jewelers. There are a lot. You get it, right? So you can have different people from the same industry coming on your show all the time. That's, this is just the wedding industry alone. So think about you and your audience. Who else does your ideal client need to be supported by? Remember I said ideal client because that's who you want to attract, right? Your ideal audience should be your ideal client. So who else do they need to be supported by to be successful? In my case, my clients are speakers, authors, coaches, consultants who want to go from where they are today to maybe Good Morning America, to launching their own web TV show and going global. Well, Jill is a perfect person to support my clients. They need a publicist, right? They need a publisher, they need a publicist, they need a videographer. So you get the picture. Who else does your client need to be supported by? And this is how you figure out your guests. Now, what do you think? Can you have your own show or what? What do you think here? Are we ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Yeah. So anyways, I just made it really simple as far as like planning your show, what to do. All right, let me see now. Then we have step 4. It's creating the message. And this is where, Jill, I know you have a lot with this one. But, as we're teaching I call it the 9 touch points. These are the 9 places that, emotionally your audience needs to connect with you. And so just to give you an example what it is, like in my program, it's 9 of them. And I know everybody has their own proprietary, and I'd love to hear about yours, Jill. But in mine is like touch point number 1 is grab their attention. Touch point number 2 is shake their confidence. Touch point number 3 is build their confidence in you. And there's 6 others. But just to give you an example how this works, like, you see, are you paying too much for your car insurance? That question alone covers touch point number 1 and number 2 because it's grabbing their attention and right away saying, are you paying too much for your car insurance? And right away the brain is saying, well, am I? So we're not sure if we're making the right decision, and that's the point of it. So there is a formula that works really well with this. And I know you must have a whole beautiful formula for hooks, Jill, because let's get you on. You got yourself muted. You're muted, Jill. Let's see. Hold on.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are. Yes. Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
Thank you.
I know you have a lot to add to this one. To share some of your brilliant knowledge here.
Absolutely. The first thing is to focus on what's the problem out in the marketplace. In other words, your message solves problems because you're the expert. So I want you to focus on telling people what the problem is, and then, of course, creating some what I like to call solutions, 3 simple solutions for them and what to do. And I am big on giving away, real information. Tell people what to do. Like, you're giving great information. I'm telling them real publicity, things that we definitely, charge money for, but it's about how to get your message in the market. And telling people real solutions makes a big difference. So drop those golden nuggets in and give people real information on your message. I have to tell you something, because I teach publicity crash courses, and I find a lot of people, when we get to this part about we really actually outline their message and do it, what they want to do is they want to say, hire me, and then I'll do it, for you, with you. So what I'm doing is turning that on its head and saying, just tell people what to do. And then guess what? They're going to call you, hire you anyway, because let's face it, they either don't want to do it, can't do it, or don't have the time to do it, and you're their solution. So that's what I want, is making you their solution.
No, a great point. Thank you for that. The reality is, we don't mind spending money. We want to know where to spend money. Seriously, I mean, look at it. We're working for what? Just to hold on to money? No, we're working to spend the money on the things that, that give us what we want, so we can enjoy our life. So it's not that people don't want to spend money. It's just that we're afraid of making a bad decision. Okay, that's what the challenge is. So if you do, like Jill was saying, share those golden nuggets, gain people's trust, and, get yourself out there and let them know who you are. They're going to know you, they're going to like you, they're going to trust you, and they're going to want to spend money because they want to spend money. They do, they want it. So they just want to know if you're the right person to get it from. So yeah, love it. Great advice, Jill. So in step 5 this is where you'll learn the script. Now, in our case, we were teaching our clients to get out there, on TV. So we're teaching them to, to really speak in 1, 2, and 3 minute sound bites. So then when they got the opportunity to get on the show where, like Jill was saying, you get 4 to 5 minutes, they could add more. It's like, once you know your message, it's like an accordion. So basically, every message that you put together, whether it's a 30-second video tip, 30-second commercial, or a 1-hour presentation, falls under, it has to have this structure. First, it's the hook. You have to grab their attention and have them wanting more, so you need to know how to do that. Then the body is where you gain trust. This is where you deliver great information. This takes the biggest chunk. This is like basically 50% of the information. And then the call to action, you need to know how to give them a compelling reason, to take action, the kind of action that's going to support them and you at the same time. So, they're looking for you. They're looking for your help. They're looking for your services. It's just like, okay, people are coming to us because they want to know how to get themselves, on WebTV. They're going to Jill because they want to know, how to get themselves known and grab the attention, of the media and get themselves on the show. And they're going to Barbara because they want to know how to take their expertise and turn it into a coaching and consulting business. People are looking. They're looking, so they want you. They want to know about it. But at the same time, as you're giving a call to action, you have to make sure that, what do I want? How do I want to structure? There's a whole formula to this. It's actually not very complicated because you're already doing it every day. We just need to show you exactly what you have. Seriously, it's like giving you all the ingredients of the cake you have sitting in your cupboard. Somebody's going to show you how to put it all together and have a delicious cake. That's really what it is, because you already have the knowledge. It's your business. We just show you how to put a structure around it. So then step number 6, this is where a lot of people get stuck, okay? And, it's all about looking and sounding great on camera, the body language, the vocals, and the makeup. So I can tell you, dress for success. Think about that. You can do some research. But the thing that you want to keep in mind is staying true to yourself, and then considering what does your audience expect you to look like. So if you had a plumber showing up at your door wearing a 3-piece suit, what would your reaction be?
Well, I might get a little worried that he won't get his hands dirty.
Right.
Exactly. Or if he's going to charge a lot of money because if he's
yeah, my bill just went through the roof. That's what I think, right? Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, he's using disposable 3-piece suits. Who's going to pay for that? Me. Yes, okay. So that's just be real, be realistic. Just because you're on TV doesn't mean you have to dress up, in your evening gown. And body language, just be yourself. We're magnetic when we're comfortable and having fun, okay? So just be yourself. And vocals, your natural voice, we're not going to get into that. There's a whole method to, knowing where your natural voice is. But whatever you sound like, it's fabulous. You don't need to sound like a movie star. And makeup, seriously, you probably already know how to apply your makeup, or go to the MAC counter and they will show you exactly what to do. They're the pros. And don't worry about their green and blue hair. It's just the way they look, but they're fabulous. And you don't have to buy from them either. Just maybe out of courtesy buy one or two things. You can always buy similar things at your discount drugstore if that's where you want to go. It's up to you. What I'm saying is that knowledge is the key here. That's what I want to stress during this. It's, how do you get it is, not the issue. So that's what all those things take to get you ready. Now the next part is to get you on the set. Well, this is about shooting your interviews and broadcasting on Google Hangout and editing your videos. This is what it takes, okay? And these are all learned skills. Of course, we're not going to be teaching that right now because right now the focus is for you to actually see yourself as a show host and get out there. Production comes later, right? Now, here comes the bonus training part, okay? If you have paid attention, if you're already posting, you're commenting, you're asking questions, and Barbara, are we checking? Are they doing it?
Yes, they're doing it. We have comments and questions posted.
All right. All right. So what the special bonus is, I'm going to send you information how to set up your home studio for under $300. That includes the broadcasting, the webcam, headset, backdrop, and lights. I'm telling you, you can look professional starting at $300. Okay? So now you have no excuses not to get on, right? We just spend a lot of time showing you why you should get on. And I told you, if you're taking action, and this is the key, take action, post, comment, and we're going to send you the training. We'll send you some information on it tomorrow. But once we gather all the information, we'll get it out to you. Okay? So how's that for a bonus? Okay.
Love it.
All right. So
Great one.
Let's move on. The get paid part. This is the fun part. Now, I want you to think of your TV show as a moneymaker. Do you think anybody gets on, they put on a TV show, they invest millions of dollars in producing a TV show without having the calculations in place as to how it's going to make money? Trust me, every penny is counted. They know exactly how much they need to spend for the cast. They need to know how much it's going to cost to produce it, how much it's going to cost to market it. So you got to know your numbers, okay? So you got to know your numbers. You want to make some money. How much money do you want to make? Everybody says, I want to make $1 million. Okay, fine. How are you going to make that $1 million? So let's start easy. What if it's just $100,000? Like, how many leads do you need? Do you want sponsors? How are you going to get the leads for the sponsors? How much should you charge? What should your profit margin be? These are just 3 of the 7 numbers we look at, actually. And we have, this is so cool, because I know most people are not number people. We actually have a simple Excel spreadsheet that's already calculated for you. How to use, membership, how to make money from memberships and all that. So all this is calculated for you because most of our clients, they're creative people. They're speakers, authors, coaches, consultants who want to go out there and change the world. And as soon as they start looking at some numbers, they're like, no, I don't want to deal with it. So we had to do that. Basically, those are the things you want to look. How much money do you want to make, and what is it going to take to make that? Just do some basic math. If you answer those 3 questions, you're going to have a lot of the information that you need. And then step 9 is your marketing blueprint. How are you going to get maximum exposure for maximum profits? This is what you want to look at. No matter what kind of marketing you do, you need to consider that. So social media marketing is a big part of it. How are you going to get your message out in social media? There's so many choices out there. What is your style? That's one of the things you really need to consider. And repurposing your content. Like every video you do, every time you write a script for a video, you can use it so many different ways. Seriously, it's like hundreds of ways you can use it. So you got to decide in advance, how are you going to use it? If you don't make a decision, you will not. And of course, all of this is going to happen. Things are going to take off, just like people are approaching me, wanting to put my shows in front of 200 million people. And believe me, I need some of your shows too. But you're going to need some help, and there's all kinds of virtual help available. There's all kinds of information available on that as well. So you do need to get a little bit of help, whether it's 1 person or 10 people as you grow. Okay, so I don't think CEO of Coca-Cola is washing toilets. So why should you? Okay, so let's get to it. All right. Now, finally, step 10 is about co-op marketing. Okay, think about who your clients are. Right? We did look at some of this on your ideal client portion of it, and then decide who else wants access to them. Well, the same ideal guest experts could also be your sponsors, affiliates, and joint venture partners. There is a difference in each one. We can't get into the difference, but you need to know who's what, so you know how to approach them. And finally, this is the one where you go global big. This is where you get the information out, and this is where we need Jill's help. It's all about how to get the media to love you. You know, whether it's mobile, internet, television, next networks. So Jill, take over, please. Help us out with this one.
Oh, well, first of all, when you have a show, it's like having a book or a certain new product. So we promote and publicize a show just like you would do any product. You treat it like a product.
Oh.
You consider how to put it into what media. You start getting attention as a show host. And the other really wonderful thing is that because you're a media host, you're now one of them, the media. So you're an insider, and you're seen as an insider and someone with, frankly, more influence, and it's about having radical influence, and that's the power of media and what it does for you, and that's what excites me so much about people being their own TV show hosts. So publicity begins with your name recognition and then being treated as an insider like you are, and then spreading those octopus tentacles again out to the media, including industry media, because now you're an industry insider, including consumer media. So we would look at it from numbers of ways.
That's excellent, Jill. Thank you so much for that information. I hadn't thought about being one of them.
Yes. Well, you are now. Woo!
I love it.
I love that perspective too, and see this is a perfect example of what I was talking about when you look at who else does your audience need to be supported by. See, my people need to hear what Jill has to say, that advanced knowledge that she has, that expertise that I don't have. So if I don't open up and bring like somebody like Jill, who is so brilliant, into my circle, so my clients can hear what she has to say, I'm going to be shortchanging them, right? So think about it. Now, all of a sudden, you just saw Barbara's response. Barbara actually went through season 1 of Turn Your Show into Cash. She was one of the show hosting training. So now you just saw her response because of the knowledge that Jill shared, and this is what makes it work, because you're the one bringing these amazing people to your audience. They thank you for it. Think about it. Whenever somebody introduces you to somebody, brilliant, somebody great, you always remember who made that introduction. So a lot of people I know that it's like, well, if I bring them in, they're going to take my clients. No, they're not. You're just going to be bigger and better, and your clients are going to appreciate you even more. And guess what? They will also bring their clients too. So as long as you're sharing, and taking care of that same client, why would they need to go anywhere else? They wouldn't, because all their needs will be met with the small group that you surround them with. Okay, so I love that. So thank you for that those great tips, Jill. I know we definitely have to do a whole training on that one. Okay.
Well, I am just delighted to have spent the time with you, and so appreciate the opportunity to be on your show today.
No.
Thank you, Jill. It's been such a privilege to have you here.
Thank you. And take care, everybody. Just a delight to be with you all.
Okay, well, wait, Jill, everybody, Jill's going to be leaving us, and Barbara and I are going to be continuing the conversation.
Absolutely.
Taking the comments, and we will tell you how to get in touch with Jill, and you'll be seeing her on Turn Your Show into Cash. So, Jill, thank you so much for sharing, your knowledge and your time with us today. It's really appreciated.
It's absolutely my pleasure, and thank you for all the great work all of you do.
Oh, thank you, Jill.
All right, take good care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so we're there. I mean, all the great stuff, and this brings us to step number 12, which is you're on the air. We've given you everything you need, so you're on the air. Step 12 is to continue doing the things that have been working. Okay, so.
Right.
what do you think of all this? Now, we have some questions there, and, just bring up one question before we go on. Let's answer something.
All right. Well, I think it's a great question from William. He's asking, how do I find a co-host?
How do you find a co-host? Well, you just you actually think of people who you can communicate with easily. Somebody that you can share information with, like Barbara and I are co-hosting, right? So why? Because Barbara understands what I do, and we have complementary knowledge. I understand what she does. I can support her clients. She can support my clients. We can support the same group of clients. So that's where you start. You look at your ideal expert and think about who you know that would fit in one of those industries, in one of those categories, and then think about who you like to interact with, who is fun, whose company you enjoy, because you're going to be spending a lot of time with them, and the interaction needs to be very natural, very comfortable, because your audience needs to feel the fun. Because think about it, when you have two people spending time, or two people in a conversation, there's a lot of tension between them. What do you want to do? Get away, right? I do. Like, man, please. But when there are two people having fun and they're laughing, they're having a great conversation, I want to be a part of it, and that's what your audience is looking for. They want to get in there. They want to have some fun. They already have plenty of tension, and you can make anything fun, by the way. Whatever your category is, whatever your industry is, you can make everything fun. There is a great way to make light of everything. Okay. So we have one more question, and I'm going to share some more information.
Sure, and I think this is a great question from Jill. She's asking, if I work one-on-one, and my niche is really working with people one-on-one, is it worth having a web TV show? And my immediate answer is absolutely, because you get it out there working one-on-one with somebody and you're doing it on a web TV show, you're just spreading the news of how effective your process is, and you're giving hope to people that are watching your show, that are watching you do what you do. You're going to give them hope for having the same solution as you're sharing with your guest. You'll increase your business, you'll increase your credibility. I could go on, but Ann.
No, absolutely. Great point, Barbara. She made some great points there. Now, if you work with people only one-on-one, well, what happens is when you have your own web TV show, number one, you will make money from having all the different sponsors and things approaching you, and getting exposure from there's all kinds of ways of making money. That's part of the whole training. But from the perspective of having individual clients, well, think about it. If you're a TV show host, you automatically are global. Okay, your expert status is elevated considerably. So that means people will position you at a much higher level. So they will be planning on spending more money with you. Think about it. If there was an expert on TV, now if you decide you're going to call them and you want to hire them, you wouldn't think about haggling the price. You wouldn't think about it. You would expect to pay more money. You wouldn't, you would automatically expect that, and so that's what will happen to your business, because you're seen on TV, especially if you're an expert and you're giving your comments. People are watching, they trust you. They're not going to argue with you about the price because they trust that you're going to be delivering, what you said. I don't know what it is that you do one-on-one, and by the way, people, if you can just, when you're placing your comments, let us know what your industry is, so I can give you more specific, information that it will be a lot more powerful. Okay, so let us know who you are. Might as well, if you're going to be.
All right, she's an allergy specialist, Ann. That's what she was asked. She's an allergy specialist.
Okay, allergy specialist. So that means that maybe you go into people's homes. Maybe you do some individual tests to see what they are allergic to, and then you go into their homes, make sure that everything is eliminated that they could be allergic to. So right away you can see, if you're positioned at a much higher level, you can charge people thousands of dollars for the same work instead of $100 or $200 or whatever. I don't know what you charge now, but you can literally add a zero in the back of whatever you're charging. You know?
Absolutely, and if she went and took her camera and did it live, if you were going to somebody's home and you took your camera with you and it would be so helpful to so many people. So besides the gift of getting new clients, you'd also be helping a lot more people than just your one-on-one. So yes, please do it.
Yeah. No, there are a lot of people suffering with allergies, and they can't afford you. They can't afford you now. You know, they can't afford anything in some point, but they're suffering. So you would be helping a lot of people at the same time you're elevating your own expert status. So it's a great way to give and get at the same time, and that's the best way to work things. You know, making a difference in other people's lives at the same time. So you know what? Let's go into, I want to tell them a little bit about the training. Anybody want to know about the training? Say yes.
Yes. Let's tell us about the training. I'm excited because I just want to share with you that I went through this training. It's fun. We had so much fun. You'll learn so much information, and well, if you saw my before pictures, you'd see how much I learned and how I can now present myself properly. And my before picture is god-awful, if you want to know. But it really is a powerful training. You'll learn a lot. You'll look professional when you're done, and you'll be surprised at how much fun and how easy it is. Go ahead, Ann.
But no, the thing that I want to make sure that, you know, how you see Barbara's eyes light up. You know, it's like she loves the camera now. You know, so it really is fun. It really is. And I can tell you, I was very reluctant, too, in the beginning. I was like, oh, you know, I'll produce the show. I'll put other people in front of the camera. I don't want to get in front of the camera. Well, you know what? No, I have to practice what I preach. So I stepped up, and guess what? I ended up loving it, too. So
I love it.
Once you know how to do it, it just becomes easy, I think. You know, and if you decide you don't like it, you can always stop, but at least give it a shot. So to make it fun, to make it easy, I've basically structured it in a way that you can experience what's going on. You know, it's like having a front row seat as they're, you know, shooting The Apprentice. Now, all of you have, you know, well, I hope most of you have watched The Apprentice. Now, I kind of got the idea when I was watching it. It's like, as I was watching them have their mastermind sessions, I was like, you know what, this 1 hour is really great, but I wish I was there in the room for those 2 or 3 days when they were shooting this. I want to know all the great ideas they're sharing, because that's really valuable. If you've been in a mastermind session, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And at the same time, you know, how do I get there? It's like 1 hour definitely wasn't enough. So I decided that the show, the way we're doing it, I was going to make it powerful in a way where not only people are going to get to do it themselves, which, by the way, the most powerful way for you to learn to do something is by doing it yourself, experiencing it yourself. The second most powerful way of, you know, learning something is for you to watch somebody else do it step by step. So this program has actually both. I made sure it was in there because I'm an experiential learner. I want everything to be fun. I want to play games, you know. So the way this is structured, like each Thursday, you know, by the way, it's the whole 12 modules that I shared with you. There's in-depth training in all of them, okay? Every Thursday, new training module is released with videos, trainings, and, you know, all kinds of the tools and resources, everything you need for that particular module. And it's designed actually for the busy professional, you know. So most of it you can actually do in 1 or 2 hours. And there are a couple of modules that it's going to take more time, that, you know, like, for example, the scripting. You know, some people can do it in 3 hours, some people can do it in 3 days, depending on their style. But you have from that Thursday until the following Tuesday where the live trainings begin. And this is the fun part. So on Tuesday, we have actually 10 people. These are the guests, the show hosting training, okay? They're show hosts, they're in 2 groups. Each group has a business expert, business growth and marketing expert, health and wellness expert, money management and investment expert, empowerment and spirituality, and a nonprofit. So there are 2 groups with these 5 in them. Now, chances are one of them is actually very close, you know, to who you are and what you do. So you get to actually watch these 2 groups in their mastermind session. Tuesday, from between 1 and 2 o'clock, there are 2 groups on Google Hangouts in 2 different groups. You get to watch them. You can follow one. You can follow all of them. So that's from 1 to 2. Then from 2 to 3 o'clock, we have expert panel discussion. For each one of the modules, I have 2 or 3 guest experts that come into the studio with me, and we have like a TV show discussing that particular topic. Like, for example, what Jill was doing just now, in the publicity section, we'll have 2 or 3 publicists, and I will be discussing all the different ways you can get out there, like web PR versus traditional PR and all that. So there's a panel discussion with the experts. So you get to watch that. So the interesting thing is, get this. Then from 3 to 4 o'clock, we have spotlight sessions. Now, that's when the 10 show hosts come into the Google Hangout with the guest experts, and each one of them can present what they're working on and get laser consulting right there on the spot. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I want you to get really the importance of this. First, you work on your own to the best of your ability with very detailed training. So you work on your own, you get it down. Then on Tuesday, you actually watch 10 people sharing what they have done for that module. So you're able to fine-tune what you've already done just watching what they do. Then from 2 to 3 o'clock, you're watching these 3 experts or 4 experts really discussing the topic in depth. So you get to fine-tune what you've done even more. And then 3 to 4 o'clock, there are these spotlight sessions where each one of them has 5 minutes to ask a specific question and get laser coaching and consulting from the experts. So you're watching these 10 hot seats going on, if you will. If you've been at a seminar, then you've seen 1 or 2 or 3 hot seats. You know the power of it. Somebody on stage, doing that. Well, we do that every single week. 10 people every single week. So there is no way this is not going to work. And it's fun, it's experiential. You can even form your own mastermind groups, actually. So basically what happens, we cover the factor 1, okay? And by the way, the program begins, next one, starts in a week, on June 3rd. It goes on for 12 weeks. And at the end, we have this great big, finale that we'll be broadcasting live, and some people will be in the studio with us during a 3-day intensive. It was a lot of fun stuff. So if you were to go out there and do this on your own, like all the different modules that I showed you, first you would have a hard time finding people who will be teaching you all these things, because there are people who teach media, but they don't teach video production, or they teach video production, they don't teach video marketing or business. You're not going to find all this in one place. So you go out there, if you want to work on your celebrity mindset and all that, you pay anywhere from $500 to $1,000 easy. And your magnetic self, the media training, how to look and sound powerful and confident on camera, that can easily cost you anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000. And your script, and this is huge, because knowing how to articulate your message in a way that's fun and exciting and powerful, that transforms your business. And as you saw, there are a couple of different things that we do that makes it really simple for you to take what you already know. You don't need to learn new things. You just need to know how to use what you already have, because it's your business. You already know it. We're just showing you how to use it. So that alone, it could go anywhere from $1,000 to $20,000, depending on who you're working with. If you've gone out there, hired a scriptwriter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And factor 2 is get on the set. This is where we show you how to set up your home studio, and you're going to get some of that training right now. But if you had other people coming in, they would charge anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 to set up your studio. Producing your video, again, it would be anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 if you had other people doing it. We're going to show you how to use even the equipment that I'm using right now, where I look like I'm in a studio and I go back and forth and doing all the things I'm doing. You can do this. We'll show you how to do this. And of course, broadcasting your video. If you hired people to do it, and depending on what platforms you're using, it will cost you $1,500 to $8,000, unless you're already using Google Hangouts, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, factor 3 is get paid. This is where this is huge. When you sit down to put together your business plan, how are you going to grow your business? Listen to the importance of this. your TV show becomes part of your plan. It's a very powerful leveraging tool. But if you sat down with a business consultant, you would spend anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000. I know that that's what I charge when I'm sitting down to develop a blueprint. Like, something simple is $5,000. If I'm going to be working with them to produce some of them, it's $25,000. And that's just the average price for hiring a business consultant. Okay, and this is what I used to charge 25 years ago. So, trust me, it's a lot more than that. Okay, and multi-channel publicity. These are the different ways you're going to get your message out there. So if you were to hire a social media manager or a publicist to do this for you, you could be spending anywhere from $500 to $2,000 a month. Okay, easily. And of course, co-op marketing, you're going to become a part of a huge community. And remember, we have access to over 200 million monthly viewers that we need great content for. So now you become a part of a huge community that's going to support you and is going to cheer you on and take care of you. So with all this, I mean, literally, I took the minimum that everything would cost you if you did this on your own. It's $12,500. That's the minimum number for each of those things. So, but right now, because we need you, we want you to grow with us. We need great content. GVN TV is just a platform without some great content. So because we're going to be supporting each other in this growth, we're just basically charging only $497. $497 for something that literally will transform your entire life, entire business. And that's going to in turn transform your life. So,
so true. I mean, just say $497 is an incredible deal. We're talking about 12 weeks of in-depth training where you're going to learn specifics. You're going to get guidance from experts. You'll be able to view mastermind groups, right? And as a bonus, I'm going to throw in a 90-minute mastermind session with me. So we'd love to have you join our mastermind. That's a bonus session that I'll be conducting. So it's really an incredible opportunity. This is the what do you call it? The wild, wild west of web TV. You heard people say the internet was the wild, wild west, and it was. Why? Because there was no laws on the internet because it didn't exist before. So a whole lot of things had to happen when people started marketing on the web on websites, and there are a whole lot of laws had to be implemented to keep it legal and honest and all that kind of thing. So we're on the wild, wild west of web TV. And I'm saying get in now while it's still the wild, wild west, because this is where you're going to get known. You're going to be in the beginning, and it's going to be really difficult once this area gets a lot of people getting in there and getting their web TV shows. Then it's going to be harder to get in. You are in the golden moment, if you will. This is a decision-making, life-changing moment that you're having to decide to step into your greatness, to share your message with the world, and to actually get a place on the web with DeVere on GVN TV. That's a possibility. Getting yourself out there, getting in front of 200 million monthly viewers is a possibility. So step in, take advantage of it, and for $497, you can't go wrong. You absolutely can't go wrong. You're going to learn so much. And the opportunities after you learn everything are just phenomenal too. So.
Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, like I said, Barbara was in our season 1 of Turn Your Show into Cash, and she actually is launching her web TV show as we speak. And the name is From Passion to Purpose to Profit. So it's all about how to take your passion and discover your true purpose, and then actually turn it into profits by having your own coaching business. So like Barbara has over 5,000. Coaches, so she knows what she's doing, trust me. So Barbara, let's go and answer some more questions there. Let's do a little bit more supporting our people.
Beautiful. Okay. The next question that I have from William is, how do I get more people attending my Google Plus Hangouts or web TV show? And are there places people can view previous shows? Oh, that's a great question.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. The first thing is that when you conduct a Google Hangout, it's automatically saved onto your YouTube account. It's automatically created. So that's where people can go to watch previous shows. And of course, once you start putting the description of what it is and start utilizing some of the social media marketing tactics and strategies that there's so many of them, but getting the word out there and doing it the right way, and video is viral if you have the right kind of information. So it's knowing how to put together those minute video tips or 30-second video tips or conducting those 30-minute shows. It's like anything else. Depending on what it is, you put it in front of the right people, they're going to follow you. And, once you identify who your ideal audience is, then you will know exactly where they are. So this whole thing is designed from start to finish to work. It's a big, beautiful 12-link chain that all of it works together, and each link is very powerful. So I hope that answered your question, because I would have to go into complete marketing, coaching, and consulting that would be impossible to do right now. But yes, so as soon as you produce, it's saved on YouTube, and you can send people there, and there are ways of getting the word out there that are pretty simple and very impactful.
Thank you, Ann. And there was a couple of people that actually had that same question: how do I begin? How do I get people to watch my show? How do I get people out there? And once you've learned to do this, once you've learned to be a guest on a show, or even once you're a show host, you can absolutely be a guest on a show. Once you've got that under your belt, the next thing is for you to be participating in other people's shows. Be a guest on a show, and while you're a guest on a show, you're going to talk about having your own show and having people guest on your show. It's very, let's see, I think she said it was incestuous, right? Jill said that the media business is incestuous, and so that's the beauty of this. Once you get started, there's no stopping it. It just snowballs, just like it's been happening for Ann. It snowballs. So, yay.
Well, actually, one of the things that will happen automatically is you will end up attracting some of the thought leaders in your industry, thought leaders who have been out there, who have a following of 100,000, 200,000 or more. And there is a way to approach them and ask them to, you can literally just, say, can I interview you on my show? And the answer will be yes, immediately. But there are ways of strategically inviting them, and, so everybody that they know is following you as well. Okay? Now think about this. If you have 3 or 4 guest experts on your show who are already widely known, and they have a huge following on social media, or maybe they have a huge email list, and all they have to do is email to their list and say, I'm going to be on this show, people will come to watch them on the TV show. Because if a friend of yours says, hey, I'm on a TV show, wouldn't you want to go watch them? Automatically, naturally happens. So being on a TV show is not marketing to them, it's inviting them into your world, and people love to do that, and everybody wants to be interviewed on TV show, and especially right now, most people still don't have a TV show. So if you do, you stand out. I mean, think about it. Look at the thousands and thousands of people that have been on the Oprah Winfrey show over the years, right? How many of them do we remember? Only a few. Oprah was the powerhouse. She wasn't waiting in line to be on other people's shows. People were waiting in line to get on her show. So this gives you a lot of leverage. It literally, has you going global right away. And trust me, and I can tell you this, I've had, maybe I think one person tell me no, they can't be on the show, and they had a really good reason for it. But people always say yes. Say when. Let me look at my schedule. So you're not going to have any problem getting people to watch your show once you know how to use what we're showing you. The thing you have to consider is that, especially when somebody who's of influence, they want to make sure that they look good. So they're going to take a look at your show. Maybe your show looks good. They're going to approach you just like they approached me. I didn't even know who they were. They said, your interviews are great. We want to have you. We want to have it on our network. That's what happens. They're going to see the quality, and that's what we're teaching you how to do. And what you're looking at right now looks like I'm in the studio. This is, using some, this whole thing is literally under $1,000. Literally about $400 worth of equipment. You can do this, but you have to know how to use the tools. The example I always give is put a paintbrush in my hand, I'll paint a wall. Put a paintbrush in an artist's hands, and they will paint a masterpiece. It's the difference in knowing how to use and what to do with the tool, and that's what we'll be teaching you. As long as you follow instructions, it's like paint by numbers. if you follow instructions, you will be able to produce a great TV show, and things will fall into place.
That's absolutely right. And I just want to say that was a question that Travis had. He says, so even if I have no experience, I can still do it. And I just want to say, absolutely, Travis, I had no experience. So, and here I am. Yes, so absolutely, I'm, like Ann said, just loving it right now. I love doing this. I love communicating with people. I love knowing that I'm in a position that I can make a difference for people. And it's fun. Yay. All right, we have two more really great questions. And that was the last one was from, oh, I think I said Travis. It looks like it's Travia. So, oh, that's his last name. Keith, I'm sorry. All right, so the next question I have that's pretty good is, you mentioned Clear Vision TV, and it is Steve that would like to know more about that.
Steve would like to know, which Steve is that would like to know more about it?
It's Steve Behrman. Behrman is his last name.
Okay. Well, actually, it's part of the Clear Channel Network, and it's a whole group of broadcasting networks that I can't send you directly to them. It's part of the network that we're in that have access to them. Actually, it's Clear Channel. Clear Vision is part of the Clear Channel that has access to the airports, if that's the response to the question that you were looking for.
Great. All right. And then we have a final question here. Let me see if I can locate who it's from. I have to resort into reverse chronological order to see them all. And there's so many now I'm having to scroll down. But the question was, I'm sorry, I don't have a name. The question was, how can I repurpose my existing content, whether it be audio or PDFs or that type of thing, and create a video out of it? I thought that's a great question.
Yes. Well, actually, quite simply, because if you already have it on audio, chances are it's written somewhere, and you can take the same information and turn it into PowerPoints, just like I have done, and put it on the screen and go through them and interact with video. All of a sudden, you have a TV show. Again, your TV show can be on any topic, on anything that you want to do. You can do it on location, you can do it in the studio, you can set up your home studio. You have many choices, just like you can take any content that you have and you can repurpose it. So anything that you have with audio, you can take the same information. Anything that you have on PDF, take the same information. You can, interact and turn it into exercises. Anything that you have that are maybe questionnaires, you can actually turn it into very fun and exciting exercises that you walk people through. Educational television. That's part of what you're going to be learning actually in a program, identifying your style, whether you're the curator, whether you're the educator or the critic. Knowing this distinction is huge, because once you identify what your natural style is, then you will know exactly how to format your TV show so people know exactly what to come to you for, okay? Because you'll know why you do what you do, and then you're going to know how to make sure other people are coming to you for the right reason. Like, for example, when we're if I'm going to a restaurant, I want to look at the comments, about the restaurant. So those are our food critics, okay? So no, that is a very, very easy, a style to identify. So you'll learn what your natural style is. And by the way, we have all three of them in us. It's just knowing what your predominant is and knowing how to stay in your strength, which is actually, that's the second thing you're going to be learning basically on week 3. No, actually the first thing you'll be learning in week 3. That's amazing stuff.
Thanks so much, Ann. Okay, the next question is from Joel. How often should you broadcast a show when you're getting started?
As often as you can. Okay. So, well, here's what it is. It's not going to be easy in the beginning to produce a whole bunch of them, and that's okay, because you can do one a week even and rebroadcast it every day. Look at the replays of traditional television. They play the same thing over and over again. Now, a lot of times, some of our show hosts, what they'll be doing, especially if they have a panel show and they're in different cities, they go into a studio in one day in one city and shoot 3 or 4 different shows, which will be for one a week for the month. Or you can go into a studio once a week, or you can decide, even your own home studio, once a week that you're going to produce, maybe 6 hours of video or 4 hours of video, and you're going to release it one a day. So it all depends on your schedule and what you want to do. It's about fitting your lifestyle.
I love that. This is a lifestyle business because I I was concerned too. I have to say, one of the things that I have very limited amount of is time. So how am I going to produce a show to that's going to be consistent and appear every week and that? And when Ann said, you just go to the studio once a month and film it all. Oh my God! Brilliant! Thanks, Ann. Saved me.
Yeah, that's one of them. But the other thing is too that pretty much everything you do, you can make it part of your show now. So if you do coaching consulting calls, record it. That could be part of your show.
That's right. That's right.
That could be part of your show. You do seminars. That's part of your show. So basically everything that you do can become a part of your show. You just have to plan ahead as to what you're doing and be aware. And it's you learn all this. You will learn all this. It's all part of the planning. So, Barbara, I think we need to post where people can go to register for the program. So,
yes, we do, and also we do have a couple more questions.
We'll take it. Just go ahead and put the website address there for the people who want it now.
Okay.
Go to turnyourshowintocash.com.
That's it. That's easy, right? Turn your. I'm typing it in. Okay, I'm typing it in the chat box below right now and hitting a comment.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So the link is there.
Once you put your name and email there, it will take you to the page where it's a long page with a lot of graphics, and you can actually see pretty much everything that I've shared with you. And way at the bottom, you'll see it. Just click on it, pay the $4.97. And by the way, next season which starts in September, the price is going to be probably triple. Okay. That's what we're discussing right now. So if you're going to jump in, this is the time to do it, and you will have lifetime access to it, of course. Okay, so let's go to the other question.
Absolutely. I just want to say this is a big, huge, early adopters always are on the cutting edge, and they save a lot of money because they jumped in when the getting was good, as they say. Sylvia was asking if this was live because she tuned into the page and she started the video, and of course it came in halfway through. So one of the things that you should know is when you're recording the video, like we are live right now, on the website where the show is being broadcast, it's when you hit play, you don't start at the beginning, you start where we are. It's really brilliant. And then you can, once it's finished, it will be right there for you to go ahead and hit play and see the whole thing from start to finish. So if you came in late, don't worry. All you have to do is wait a few minutes, and you're going to be able to press play, and you'll see the whole show. So yay. It's really good content here, so you want to do that. Okay, question from Adrian Hardigan. She says, thank you to Jill, Barbara, and Ann. I came on the show late because she's in New Zealand, and she says, delighted that she got a snapshot of the webinar. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. As Jill's overseas client, I'm excited to stay connected and continue the conversation about creating a web TV show. I am New Zealand's love coach and aim to widen my audience. So absolutely you're going to be able to widen your audience, Adrian. I didn't get another question there, but here's the question that we do have, and this is from Bill. Do you have or do you need a special backdrop to get the green screen effect of the changing background behind you?
Well, no, you don't need a special backdrop. You just need an image of a studio. I could easily put an image of, let's see, how about a beach? And I could have palm trees behind me, and I could be, so you can put anything you want. Once you have the green screen, actually, I will show you how easy it is. Can you, oops, hold on, there. Punch which one? There. Button that says green? One of the buttons says green. I don't see it. No? Where does it say? This? Oh, there we go. Okay. So so that's the green screen behind me. And in the technology that I'm using, it allows me to put an image and it's literally just a JPEG image. You can put anything you want. I put curtains behind me. I can put, you name it. So it's very simple, and the technology that I'm using is literally $25 every 3 months. It's like $97 a year, and it does all these cool, amazing things. And then here, I can even play a video. Here, let's see now. Okay. Yeah, as a matter of fact, watch.
Hi, my name is Kyriakis Zuris, and I'm the best-selling author how to succeed when everybody's failing. Some people consider me an expert in business. Am I? I don't know. Here's what I do know, though. Access to experts is an absolute must for anyone who wants to be able to position themselves as an expert and take their business right to the top. You know, it's very important if you want to be successful these days that you're separated from your competition. How do you do that? You do that by becoming an expert. How do you do that? You do that by joining Ann DeVere's program, Access to Experts. If you're afraid of being on camera, if you're thinking that you can't do this, I have to tell you, I watched her take a group of 12 people that had absolutely zero experience in front of the camera. Some were afraid, some were shut down. And she turned them into experts on camera. And she did it in 2 days. The entire take takes a few minutes afterwards. You're a professional. You come out and you've got video footage and you're ready to go. It's an unbelievable program. It's a must. If you want to separate yourself, if you want to become an expert instantly, if you want people to want to hire you, if you want to be on television, if you want to be so polished and so well trained on the camera that when you're invited on a television show to be a guest, they're going to want you to come back over and over and over again. Even if you've never had any experience whatsoever, this is the program I recommend. Ann DeVere is great. She's loving, she's caring, and she works through all the little pieces that you need to know to become an expert on camera. I highly recommend Ann DeVere. She's great. I love her. She's got a great staff. Jodina St. John is beautiful to work with. The entire crew, simply amazing process. Don't waste any time playing around with who you're going to go or where you're going to go. Access to Experts is where you need to be if you want to make an impact in your business and put yourself on the top.
Yeah. Now, by the way, that's Kyriakos. If you were with us in the beginning, Kyriakos, he actually went on to, be interviewed on all kinds of shows, and that was part of the Access to Experts he's talking about. That was part of our TV interview mastery training, where we'd take them into a studio and work with them for 2 days. Now, actually, that training is 3 days. But that's not what we're talking about here. But the point that I want to make is that the information and the way that we walk them through that process is what we're teaching you here. So you can learn how to do this online. And every training that we do, so for example, the TV interview mastery is like how to be interviewed on television. This one is specific on how to have your own web TV show. So you learn specific techniques that apply to what that particular training is. The beauty of this is that whether you want to be interviewed on TV, whether you want to have your own web TV show, a lot of the training, the trifactor, get ready, get on set, get paid, applies, no matter what it is, no matter what kind of video it is. So the fundamentals of the program are the same. So you will be able to get the same training. Everything that made it easy for him to go through the process is exactly what you will get. It makes it easy. That's the program that we have polished. So, know that it's been tested. We've been doing this over 8 years now, working with the expert next door. And literally, it's like, I call it the reluctant celebrity syndrome. The expert next door. That's what we have. We understand the importance of being on video. We want to do it, but we don't really want to do everything it takes, to do it, because we don't have the show business calling. This is what we do. But anyways, listen, we need to get going. Those of you who joined us, we're thrilled to have you on. And we're very happy to have you join us. And if you have more questions, we can definitely take more time and answer your questions. Please post them. We will respond. And all of you who have posted your comments, we will be looking at them. We will be sending you the special bonus of how to set up your home studio, so you can go ahead and set it up for literally under $300. You'll know what webcams to use and the lights that you'll be needing. So it's a whole nice training where you can get ready and go. All you got to do is follow the instructions, okay?
Yes, follow the instructions and have fun, most importantly, because this is fun. It's fun getting out there and being able to communicate with people. It's fun meeting people. The experts that are on the show are fun, and God, so much great information. You just can't go wrong. This is really a decision that you'll make where you can't go wrong. This is one of the best decisions that you can make, is to jump in and do this. So I want to say thank you to Ann so much for joining us today and sharing this information that will serve you for your lifetime. think about it that way. This information and what you're going to learn, the tools, the techniques, and the skills that you're going to learn in these 12 segments of Turn Your Show into Cash are going to serve you for the rest of your life. Okay? Come on, let's do this. It is fun.
Well said. Thank you, Barbara, for setting all this up, and thank you, everybody, for joining us again. So turnyourshowintocash.com is where to go, and we're looking for you on our network, so I hope you'll be joining us.
That's right. All right, thanks, Ann. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.